Certain locations are so guarded and limited that it is nearly impossible to enter or even leave. From the safest Starbucks on the planet to whatever's within this enormous concrete pit, we're exploring everywhere. This might get dangerous, so as we look at the locations that are most closely guarded on Earth, be alert. Number 1. The U.S. Air Force maintains a hidden installation south of Las Vegas, Nevada, according to the official story. It's not famous for that reason. Initially, the CIA used it to construct and test the U-2 spy plane. A man called Bob Lazar stated in 1989 that he had been employed there to reverse engineer an alien spacecraft that had crashed. Myths and speculations about what's happening at the location have been rampant ever since. The culmination of this was when 150 Americans vowed to break through security and release the aliens they thought were being held imprisoned in 2019 by running. It's hard to know just how extensive Area 51 security measures actually are. Though it may be the most well-known, best-kept secret in the world, what exactly do we know about it? There is a no-fly zone over the whole region, and motion sensors help provide cover when the guards aren't present. Armed guards are on the ground. Not even cars are permitted for employees to enter. Air traffic control operates private aircraft operating under the Janet Airlines moniker for all modes of transportation. Apart from that, though, the mystery is further enhanced by Area 51's covert presence. Even though Area 51 has been shown to exist since 1955, the CIA refused to recognize it until 2013. That does seem odd, but we have no idea what they're hiding. What if the noise from the aliens is just a cover for whatever is actually happening? Number 2. Colorado's Fremont County Jail, ADX Florence, with a top capacity of just 490 inmates, is now the sole supermax security prison in the United States, having opened for business in 1994. The most notorious inmates in the world, such as Ted Kaczynski, dubbed the Unabomber, and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, the Boston Marathon bomber, are housed in this facility, which is why the tightest security is required for these dangerous inmates. There is hardly any time that ADX Florence inmates spend outside of their cells. In actuality, inmates don't interact with other inmates at all for the first 3 years of their incarceration. They can only gain more time through excellent behavior once these 3 years have passed. However, the outside is the tightly guarded concrete pit area. The actual concrete pit is a claustrophobic patio that is barely big enough to go 10 steps straight. Furthermore, the way the ceilings are built allows sunlight to enter without obscuring the prisoner's view of the sky or the sun above. The cells are a pitiful 7 feet by 12 feet with one tiny window that is 4 inches by 4 feet tall. It allows you to see almost nothing but the sky through it, making escape planning impossible. In terms of design, the desk, chair, and bed are all composed of poured concrete. In this manner, inmates are prevented from using them to hurt the guards or themselves. The shower has a timer to minimize flooding, and the toilet shuts off if it becomes clogged. Not only is every conceivable detail taken care of, but it goes much farther. Numerous motion sensors, cameras, and remote-controlled steel doors are located outside the cells. Officers keep a close eye on the prisoners around the clock, and in the event of an emergency, a panic button locks down the entire facility. Attack dogs and laser beams indicate the other side of the prison fence in case a prisoner manages to escape. Number 3. The White House in Washington, D.C., is perhaps the most instantly recognizable example of American architecture. The presidential palace welcomes over 1.25 million visitors annually, and despite its modest exterior and large number of guests, one may think that protection is inadequate. But that doesn't imply it doesn't exist, just because you can't see it. In order to facilitate thorough background checks, every one of the 6,000 daily visitors to the expansive 55,000 square foot structure is required to provide 21 days' notice. However, this is not the only covert measure. The building is surrounded by a 15-mile flight restriction zone, and surface-to-air missile launchers are positioned all over the city in case someone engages in any unusual activities. A radar system atop the roof scans the immediate area for any indications of danger. The perimeter fence is over 10.5 feet tall, with pressure sensor-covered sharp barbs on top and mounted on crash-resistant concrete, so even if someone did manage to get close, it wouldn't matter. Jumping the fence is therefore strictly forbidden. And if you believed long-range projectiles would work, guess again. 2 of the chambers, the Presidential Emergency Operations Center and the Situation Room, double as nuclear bunkers, and every window is completely bulletproof. Number 4. Be careful when near open bodies of water. With a powerful stream, you could float off to any place. However, there are entirely other reasons why the Tumun River is deadly. It's not that wide or deep. The other bank is visible from here only a short distance away. You see, North Korea and China share a land border along the Tumun River. The river serves as a critical lifeline for North Koreans trying to flee the oppressive dictatorship at night, even though many of them use it during the day to bathe and wash clothing and vegetables. However, crossing is not simple. It is possible for temperatures at night to reach just 1 degree Fahrenheit. The cold seas, though, are the least of any worries for any escapees. Barbed wire fences, which are difficult to see in the dark, border the majority of the river, and soldiers on duty are under strong orders to fire first and ask questions later. In order to catch any potential defectors, there are additional watchtowers manned by soldiers concealed around the surrounding hills. If any innocent citizens who are escaping are fortunate enough to cross, their problems still won't be solved. Special squads are used by the North Korean State Security Department to find and apprehend fugitives before extraditing them back to North Korea. Yinji, a Chinese city located 15 miles from the border, is now home to 1/3 Korean speakers. Many of those who attempted to flee did so safely, and they now live better lives in that location. Number 5. The U.S. Federal Government's Intelligence Service, or CIA, collects, processes, and evaluates global national security data. If that sounds a little vague, that's because almost everything they do is cloaked in extreme secrecy. Even the architects who designed the plans in 1963 had to obtain rigorous government clearance due to the private nature of its headquarters in Langley, Virginia. It's almost completely classified as to what goes on here. No one from outside the agency has ever been permitted access to the organization's history museum. Every 3 to 4 years, CIA agents are allegedly required to submit to polygraph examinations to make sure no one is endangering the country's security. Even the 9 Starbucks employees on site must go through extensive background checks, and no one is allowed inside without a specific security clearance. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to see more like it. Thanks for watching.